In this video, I'm going to try to explain the difference between common law and natural law because they are not the same. Some people misunderstand and think that common law and natural law are the same, and they certainly aren't. Common law has nothing to do with morality, right or wrong. Now, before you get upset or downvote the video, which if you downvote the video, I care less, or troll me, I could care less. But those of you that are open-minded and want to hear what I have to say, even if you pride yourself in knowing a lot of common law or have been a common law activist or are one now, understand I met one years ago that was just like top-notch common law activist. You know, the type of people that they pull all these little tricks with the cops when they pull them over, or they go to court and they claim, use all this legalese, jargon and things like that against the system, and they get charges dropped and things like that. And this guy was very successful. Not only did he help himself, he helped a lot of people out. And he did it on a moral basis. He did it because he felt like it was a point that he wanted to make. And he even helped people that got caught with meth labs get them off of charges using common law legalism and loopholes and things like that. And he wasn't a lawyer or nothing. He just helped them out, to help them to know what to cite and what to refer to and blah, blah, blah. And he absolutely did not agree with meth labs. But he didn't agree with the drug laws and the way the court systems and the cops and everything work in the first place. But he definitely believed in morality. But common law, you just get down to brass tacks, is nothing but statist law. It's government law. It's about legal policy and the legalism of the government, of statism. Common law activists are correct when they point out that statist systems or government systems, legal systems, are based on statute law, which is, admiralty law, maritime law, law of the sea, commercial law, contract law, all statist law policies. And that includes constitutional law. And by the way, as usual, I'm using my teleprompter here, just some notes that I scribbled down. And a lot of people don't like the idea that when I say that constitutional law is statist law. Oh no! Let me explain myself. The Constitution and all statist systems are based on commercial law or law of commerce or contract law. This goes way back to the very beginning of statist systems. This goes back to ancient Sumer, the Sumerian city-states. It goes back to the Mahajanapadas of the city-states of India. It goes back to Babylon, Assyria. It goes back to Greece. Now, some people will cite and they'll say that contract law is Roman law. It actually goes before the Romans, but it also is Roman law and on forth. Because statist systems are based, all of them are based on commerce and therefore contract law. So, but now common law, what common law is basically precedent. It's based on the precedent of what the state's system or the king's court systems, Uncle Sam's court systems, whatever systems have ruled. It's based on precedent. Now, the myth or misunderstanding that common law is not statute or admiralty or contract or commerce law, or that it's something different from maritime or admiralty law or law of the sea, is exposed in its own definition and its practical application. It's based on and defined by judicial decisions and by judicial or court precedent, by analogy of previous court rulings of or like comparable areas of whatever the topic is that was brought up in the court case. And that's why people are always citing court cases, while these common law people are always citing court cases. That's their basis, is the precedent of what goes on in the court systems of the state. Common law activists, and as I said, I have respect for them, but I would have more respect for them if they didn't actually believe in this shit. They just used it to fuck with the system, because I'm all about fucking the system, okay? So as in fuck the system, fuck it, and also as in fuck the system. Whatever you got to do out of self-defense. But the common law activists prove they are just wannabe lawyers and experts of legalese, the magical incantations, the magical language of the lawyers, attorneys, and judges, and the magical little temples they call courts. Now, I call them temples in sarcasm, okay? You know, you got the judge with his black robe on like he's some sort of high priest, and, you know, you've got these, I don't know, bishops or deacons, I should say, or something that are the bailiffs, and then you've got the I don't know, I guess the judge could be the bishop and the lawyers could be the priest or something like that. Now, the common law activists take that shit seriously. They're all about, you know, how it's Babylonian and it's a court, you know, blah blah blah. And the fact of the matter is, if you are basing what is right or wrong in a society upon court precedent and what's been in court cases and court records and all the little legalese technicalities in the law books and things like that, then you're using the status system against the status system, if you will, but it's still not morality. It's not about right or wrong, and it definitely is not natural law. It's basically court tradition or ruling, or court ruling record, court records. Common law activists appeal not to natural law. Maybe they try to appeal sometimes to your common sense, but in reality, they don't appeal to common law. Common law is natural law. It's not written by man. I used to have a website back when I was a Christian. I've been an anarchist. I was a Christian anarchist for years, and I was a Christian for many years, and I've since spiritually evolved away from Christianity. But I used to have a website, and I was a Christian at the time, and I put at the top, you know, man cannot make law, only God can make law. Man can only make policy, corporate policy, because all governments, I don't care if it's a monarchy of a king, I don't care if it's an empire of an emperor, I don't care if it's a parliamentary system with a parliament, I don't care if it's a republic, a democracy, a fascist state, a national socialist state, a communist state, I don't care what it is. It's all corporate bodies, and they all use statist legalese and legal systems. Believers in natural law, such as myself, we don't cite, refer, or give credence to court rulings unless we're, you know, trying to do something to, you know, defend ourselves, but we don't give it any validity as being moral or right. We lean upon natural law, and we don't cite statutes. We don't cite court precedents, previous court rulings, anything like that, court records, anything like that. Common law activists are totally correct when they talk about how birth certificates, driver's license, or state IDs, here in America, social security numbers, things like that, create a corporate you and create a corporate entity, okay? Just like artificial intelligence now is trying to make a fake you. There is, through the algorithms and collecting your biometric data and things like that, the status system creates a corporate you. And again, common law activists, they got that one right. That's literally what they're doing. And this is the reason why this is. Because the government's or statist court systems, legal, not lawful, by the way, can't deal or recognize the natural you, the man or the woman you are, the living, breathing being, creature that you are. They can't, a live being that you are, they cannot recognize it. It can only recognize the corporate you, because statist systems only deal in corporations, whether it's the corporate version of you or a corporation called Coca-Cola or Ford Motor Company or something like that. Legal systems deal in commerce and contract. They always have. This goes back to ancient Sumeria, later Babylon, Assyria, the Mahajanapadas of the city-states of ancient India, Greece, Rome. They only can deal with commerce and contract. As a matter of fact, if you read the Constitution, many common law activists are all, they just think it's the holy writ of God himself. If they read it, minus the Bill of Rights, which was an afterthought, that's why they're called the first 10 amendments. The Bill of Rights are amendments, they're add-ons, they're Just think about that. The Bill of Rights are recognizing some of your natural rights, by the way, are actually amendments. They're afterthoughts. But anyhow, if you just read the Constitution just itself, and I have backwards and forwards many times in my years, and that's why I hate it. I see it for what it is. It's simply a contract setting up another corporation to protect corporations. It was men arbitrarily getting together and just deciding that they were going to set up an empire over you, the federal government over you. Statute legalism, or law so-called, can't apply to you. To you personally, as a person, as a living being. It can't see you. It can't see the natural you. It can only see the paper, legal, corporate you. Do you get it yet? That's statism. You can talk about your precious republic all you want. It's no different than a Marxist communist system, no different than a monarchy or anything like that. It cannot see the natural you. Common law activists are correct in that point. Yet they still insist on dealing with status systems, status legal systems, and statutes and its policies that cause laws, using common law or law court or legal court precedent, status precedent, court precedent. That is basically the difference of natural law, and I haven't really talked about natural law in this video. I've mainly just been talking about corporate law and what common law activists are about. They are about corporate law. They are about admiralty law, the whole time saying that they're trying to stand up for the law of the land, not the law of the sea, not maritime or admiralty law, but the law of the land, which is horseshit. If there's any law of the land, it's natural law, which is the natural inherent law born within all of us, that we know what is right or wrong. We know what is moral, immoral. We already know all that. We don't need anybody to declare it on a piece of paper. We don't need no corporate entity called government or the state to declare it and legislate it to be illegal or not. So common law is nothing for us. It's not for us. It's just another pseudo freedom movement that in the end is going to get us right back where we started. People want to restore the republic, restore the Constitution. I don't want no status system. I don't need no status legal system whatsoever to deal with those who actually do something that's truly wrong. And I don't have to tell you what's wrong. You already know murder, theft, things like that are wrong. So that's common law. Common law is not about the common land at all. Common man at all, and it's not about common sense. It's about what the common precedent of the present legal status system is. That's all it is. It's crap. It's not natural. It's not natural law at all. Let's stop confusing the two.